So when you look into the frame format of your FlexRay, as I told you already in the introduction part, there are totally three major parts are there. One is your header part, and one is your payload part, and one is your trailer. There are three major components: header part, payload part, and the trailer part. So a header is having a 5 bytes in length, so it's a 5 byte, and payload 254 or 255 bytes. Payload is nothing but data, and actual data what you want to transmit, that's called as a payload here. Trailer, so trailer is having a CRC. In detail I'll explain later. So there are three fields: header, payload, and trailer. So one by one we will see in detail. The first of all, let us concentrate on the header part. So header part is totally 40 bits, nothing but 5 bytes of data. You can see here this part, whatever you are seeing, this complete header part is of 40 bits, nothing but 5 bytes of data. This header will have 5 bytes of data, and under this header we have multiple parameters are different. You can see here, which I'm highlighting right now. So one is a status bits, second one is a frame ID, third one is a payload length, and next one is a header CRC, next one is CRC count, cycle count or cycle count. So there are totally 5 sub-units are defined under header. So status will define a different state informations. Frame ID is 11 bit in the length. This frame ID is used for assigning the message ID. Then we have a payload length, nothing but 7 bits. How many bytes of data you are transmitting, that is called as a payload length. And then we have header CRC. We have a dedicated CRCs available for header, and we have dedicated CRCs available for trailer as well. Okay, and what is the function I'll explain later. And then we have cycle count, 6 bits. So this is the header. So we have status bits, frame ID, payload, header CRC, and cycle count. Now we'll see one by one what is the status information. Okay, the first part of a header is status indicator. You can see here under the header section, under this header section, I'm taking an example. I'm taking the first part, that's called a status indicator. In the status indicator, if you observe here, there are other one by one we will see. What is this reserved bit? The bit number 1 in the status information. Bit 1 says a reserved bit, and this reserved bit is used for future applications, and it's always going to be a 0 as well. Okay, the second one, payload preamble indicator. So what do you mean by this? So first let us look into the diagram here, and later I'll explain. Like you can see here, there is something called message identification. This part I'm highlighting by the red color, you can see here. So you can also observe here. So what they have mentioned is message ID, right? This is a one point, and second point I will show you in the blue color. You can see this part. So we have in our FlexRay, we have totally we have two types of frames. One is called static frame, and one is called as dynamic frames. Static frame and dynamic frames. It's also called as static segment and dynamic segment. So whenever you're using the payload preamble indicator, in dynamic segment, it indicates the message ID in the payload. So that means that this payload preamble indicator is going to indicate whether you're using a message ID or a network management NM vector. You can see here the same thing also I have written here. In case of preload preamble indicator, in the dynamic segment, it indicates the message ID in the payload. So 2 bytes of information will be of message ID, okay, out of 254 bytes. First 2 bytes are reserved for message ID whenever you're indicating with a dynamic segment. Same thing when you compare with the network NM. NM we will call, NM stands for network management. In the static segment, it indicates the network management NM vectors. Okay, you can see here. So totally 11 bytes of information, or 11 bytes are reserved for network management vector. So very simple. So preamble indicator will indicate whether you're using a static segment or a dynamic segment. If you're using a static segment, it will indicate that we're going to use a network management vector up to 11 bytes or 12 bytes, and whenever you're using a dynamic segment, it uses some message ID in the first 2 bytes. Okay, so this is called as preamble indicator, payload preamble indicator. Okay, this is the second one. And third one, when you look here, null frame indicator, this one. So what do you mean by null frame indicator? Null frame indicator, very straightforward. All bytes are 0. It is, so whenever null frame indicator is 0, whenever your this bit null frame indicator is 0, then you can say that it is a valid payload. And whenever null frame indicator is a 1, then you can say that it is a null frame and it's an invalid frame. Okay, so like that, it's like a null. Okay, that's called as null frame indicator. The fourth one is sync frame indicator. You can see here, the fourth one is called as sync frame indicator. What do you mean by this sync frame indicator? The sync frame indicator means it is going to be synchronized. Whenever the sync frame indicator is 1, it is going to synchronize the frame which is used for clock synchronization between FlexRay nodes. That means this bit will indicate that all nodes are synchronized properly, and all nodes must be synchronized with the common clock. That is called as sync frame indicator. So which is used for clock synchronization between the FlexRay nodes. Nodes means ECUs. So whatever you're seeing the word here, node means it's an ECU. Okay, next one. The startup frame indicator. So very straightforward definition. What do you mean by startup frame indicator? The startup frame indicator means whenever this bit is going to be 1, the startup frame is used during the cluster initialization. A startup frame must be also synchronization frame. That means, so this synchronization field or a startup synchronization field is used as a startup of the frame or start of the frame, and also the same bit is used for synchronization purpose. The startup frame is used during the cluster initialization. Nothing but complete frame it's going to initialize. Okay, and a startup frame must also be synchronization frame. Okay, so that is called as startup frame indicator. So these are all 5 informations which are available in the header. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. So if you have any questions, please write it in the comment section. I'll try to answer your questions. The next point we will see in the FlexRay header part. In the FlexRay header part, we have already seen the indicators. Nothing but we have 5 indicators are there, or status indicators are there. We have discussed already. Now we will see one by one what is the definition of each parameter. The first one, second one here, it's called as frame ID. What do you mean by frame ID? Very straightforward information. Frame ID means the frame ID is going to define the slot in which frame should be transmitted, and it is used for prioritizing the event triggered frames. That means if, let us assume I have 100 frames are there, or 100 data informations are there. These 100 data informations are assigned with IDs. Each message frame will be assigned with IDs. That is called as frame ID. And this frame ID is 11-bit, and this frame ID is used for prioritizing the event triggered frame. That means you need to assign the proper priorities to the frame. That is called as frame ID. The next one is called payload length. It's a straightforward definition. How many bytes of data you're transmitting. It contains the number of words to which to how you want to transmit. Like it contains the number of words which are to be transmitted on the frame. Okay, that's called as payload length, and up to 7 bits you can use. The next one is called cycle count. You can see here. So what do you mean by cycle count? Cycle count means it's just a counter whenever you transmit one frame. It's like this: 0, 1, 2, and it goes on like that, and later it will come back to 0. Very straightforward. It's a cycle counter. So what do you mean by this? See the definition. The cycle counter is a 6-bit field, and in the FlexRay header, and this is going to increment whenever you transmit one successful frame. So it is going to increment 1 whenever you start a new frame, and wraps around to 60 when it reaches to 60. It comes back to 0 when it reaches with 63. So that means whenever you transmit successful transmission, the counter will get increment, and whenever it reaches to 63, it will come back to 0. So this is called as cycle count. So pink color, whatever you're seeing, this is called header CRC. What is the use of this header CRC? So why the FlexRay is too much popular than CAN? Because we have two different CRC calculation. One, we have a CRC in the header, and one CRC we have in the trailer part. So we have two dedicated CRC, or CRC checksum is available in order to transmit error-free messages. Even though if there is any error, it is going to be identified and notified properly and corrected accordingly. Okay, like that the FlexRay is used. So what is the use of this header CRC? The header CRC is used to detect the error during the transfer. Okay, and it's going to protect your ID, length, filter indicators, and frame indicators. So complete header information, it is going to protect the header CRC. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. So if you have questions, please comment your questions in your So next important field in our FlexRay frame is FlexRay payload. So in the FlexRay payload, it's very straightforward definition. What do you mean by payload? Payload means the number of bytes you are going to transmit. Okay, so you can see here. So totally you can transmit up to 254 bytes of data. You can see here 0 to 254, nothing but 255 bytes of data you're able to transmit with the help of FlexRay, which is a 30 times greater than our CAN. The last part of your FlexRay is called as a trailer. What is this trailer? So trailer will have 8 bits CRC, nothing but totally 24 bits CRC. Inside this we will have 3 bytes here, like this: byte number 1, byte number 2, and byte number 3. We'll have 3 bytes of CRC information, which is going to protect the payload, or which is going to protect your complete frame with errors. Okay, it's used to protect the frame for your errors. So whenever there is an error, the checksum we are going to use. Okay, how it works, let us see now. So we have totally 24 bit CRC. As I told you, trailer will consist of 24 bits of CRC. CRC stands for cyclic redundancy check. This is a full form of CRC. CRC stands for cyclic redundancy check, and this cyclic redundancy check is a unique code which is used to detect and prevent the data transmission errors across the vehicle networks. So finally we have end of sequence. This end of sequence is nothing but 2 recessive bits, or nothing but 2 dominant bit we will use. This is called end of sequence here. This end of sequence will have 2 bits, and these 2 bits are dominant bits. You can see here 2 dominant bits we will use in order to indicate the end of sequence.